maybe Isaac didn't get 14 podiums, but on the big days, he showed up, and not only did he podium, he won the event. And that's where I actually value Player of the Year, is when the big dog shows up on the big day and performs and wins the event. Getting third a bunch of times is cool, but like that's not, no, Calvin Heimberg isn't signing up for these disc golf tournaments to get third place. He's signing up to win. Hey, you Frisbee Flickers. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me once again. This morning, I literally woke up to a tweet from Ricky Wysocki with the Disc Golf Pro Tour saying, "Who should win MPO Player of the Year?" Ricky replies with Calvin by a mile. It just, I don't know how to feel about this. So here's some of the stats if you haven't seen it yet. There's 4 people. I'll put this on the screen, but it's Gannon, who has 5 wins, 8 podiums, has won $87,000. There's Calvin Heimberg, who has 3 wins, 14 podiums, and $107,000. Isaac Robinson with 2 wins, both are majors, 8 podiums, $108,000. And then Ricky with 3 wins, 4 podiums, $83,000. So I personally take Gannon and Ricky out of it right away. There's only 2 people that really deserve to be in the conversation, in my opinion, is Isaac and, of course, Calvin. My thing is, I, as a player, me, not saying this is Calvin or this is the Pro Tour or this is Isaac, but like, I value majors. I have 0, so I'm not talking as if I am a 20-time major champion. I have won 0 majors. I've won 2 Disc Golf Pro Tour events, I've won Las Vegas Challenge, and I've won the Portland Open. And I would trade both of those any single day for a single major. No questions asked. If someone said, "Hey, would you rather have a USCGC title or the 2 Pro Tours you won?" I'm picking USCGC. So there's not even a question to me what I value as a player. And again, a couple videos ago, Ricky was in my vlog. I know what Ricky values. Ricky values winning. So if you value winning, then the guy that won 2 major championships in 1 season, in my opinion, would be Player of the Year by his standards, by my standards. Because again, as players, I think that we value these events and we value these things a lot different. So I did a little bit of research here. So being in contention, 14 podiums is part of what makes Calvin be in the running for Player of the Year, right? So, like, that's the argument, is like, well, he was up there so much, his average finish, was like 4th or whatever it was. Like, yeah, that to me is fine, but like, Calvin at Waco, at Austin, at Music City, at Blue Ridge Championship, at DDO, at PCS Sula, and at European Open, all of those events, he was winning or tied for the lead going into the final round and lost. So, 7 of those events, he was the leader or tied for the lead. No one was beating him. 7 events, and he wasn't able to finish the job. Hey, y'all, quick thing. I just started a YouTube golf channel. If you guys would be so kind, could you please head on over there to Gibson's Golf? I'll link it up above. Can you please go over there and just give it a subscribe, give it a like, give it a comment, help that page get into the algorithm. I would really greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the video. And I'm not saying that Isaac, looked up. I didn't look up all of Isaac's stats because he only has 8 podiums and he won 2 major championships. But I think if you have, obviously that's the events he was winning or tied for the lead, not the events that he, had a chance to win or anything like that, coming down the stretch and didn't finish the job. So to me, the Player of the Year, it becomes very colluded. I mean, there's some other comments I read here. Here's Avery Jenkins. Although 14 podiums and 3 wins at DGP events is incredible, 2 PDGA majors should seal the deal on 2023 Player of the Year. So I see that. If Isaac had gotten first at 2 majors and then he had gotten 50th every other time, I think obviously that the Player of the Year would go to Calvin. Simply based off the consistency factor. But the fact that that Isaac also had 8 top 10s, also was in the running at a lot of other events, and won 2 majors. I think that as me being an athlete, I have to give the nod to Isaac here. And again, and I'm having this opinion. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not in the conversation. I'm not even close. I didn't even play, the last half of the year. I'm just saying, if I was a player, which one would I rather have? Which would for sure 100% be Isaac's. And then for 2, if I'm just a fan, which hopefully you guys are watching this and you guys are major fans of disc golf, which one do you value more? And I think the guy that had the most chances to win and didn't finish the job and won 0 majors gets beat out by the guy that won 2 major championships in one season while also having 8 podium finishes. So, I think Isaac won more money. And as for the points, Heimberg got more points than him. 1,245 points versus Isaac's 1,082. I just have a really tough time believing that being in position that many times and not winning is equal to winning major championships. Because I know, again, I would trade my I would trade my Pro Tour wins for majors 100 in a row. I would never consider it. And to me, I've always made this argument. I've talked to Kale about this and a few other people. Like, in sports, big dog shows up on big days. Like, I think that's why Macbeth is our modern time GOAT. Because all these events, all these majors, all this stuff, he's always shown up. He's gotten up there. He's had a chance to win. 10 straight world championships. He got first or second. That's the big dog showing up on the big day. No matter if he woke up with his ankle hurting, being sick, whatever it might be, he knew what was on the line, he showed up and he played. And I think that is my opinion on this as well. Like, maybe Isaac didn't get 14 podiums, but on the big days, he showed up and not only did he podium, he won the event. And that's where I actually value Player of the Year, is when the big dog shows up on the big day and performs and wins the event. Getting third a bunch of times is cool, but that's not, Calvin Heimberg isn't signing up for these disc golf tournaments to get third place. He's signing up to win. He's putting himself in position to win, and whether the other players are, eagling and acing to beat him, or he's just not closing the door, he had a bunch of opportunities and didn't take advantage of them. So the way I look at it, if I was a player, getting in the car after the events, winning, losing, whatever it might be, I know for sure I would value winning the big events on the big stage during the big moments versus just almost winning a bunch of them. That's my opinion. And again, I love Calvin. Every time Calvin and I play together, we have a blast on the warm-up field, practice basket. Calvin and I chit-chat and hang out. I have nothing against Calvin as a human being, and I don't even honestly talk to Isaac very much. When he won the Worlds, I was like, hey man, great job. When he won Champions Cup, hey, great job. I don't have any issues with Isaac at all, but I'm definitely closer friends to Calvin. So this isn't me sitting here and trying to bash Calvin's season or say he didn't do whatever. I would trade every season I've ever had in my whole career for half of what Calvin, did this year. And I would trade every single thing I had the whole year, my whole career, for any of these guys, Ricky, Isaac, Calvin, or Gannon's season. I'm not sitting here saying I'm better or I'm anything compared to these players. These are arguably going to go down as some of the greatest players of ever in the sport, and especially in our era, our generation. So none of this is supposed to be disrespectful. I respect all 4 of these players a lot. I just think that the major championships, there's only 4 every year. He won half of them. Those 4 weeks, everyone prepares, everyone is ready, everyone's trying to eat better, everyone's trying to get more rest. There's nothing about a major week that feels like some of these other events. I know some of these events, I start them and, the consensus is like, let's just get through this week. But someone leaves there a DGPT, tour winner. And I don't think the majors, that's that same feel. And again, going into the final round, winning or tied for lead at 7 events and not winning is hard for me to give the nod to Player of the Year. Isaac's proven to me that he not only gets there, but also finishes the job in the biggest circumstance, in the biggest way. And I guess as a player standpoint, that's what I value for Player of the Year. I'd love to hear your comments down below. I'd love to know what you guys think, or why you think I might be right, why I might be wrong, and what you think maybe I should think about more in this conversation if you do think Calvin should be Player of the Year. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.